I love covering stories like this because, in all seriousness, it makes the world make sense again. So here we have a poll that just came out from Predictive. Polling USA is covering it. This is in Arizona. This is a poll about the senators of all registered voters. Look at this. Mark Kelly has a favorable rating of 49%, unfavorable rating of 38%. So net plus 11. Kyrsten Sinema, favorable of 39%, unfavorable of 40%. So she's -1. She's underwater. This poll was done, I believe, after you had, was it during or after? Somewhere in the ballpark of Kyrsten Sinema famously coming out against the $15 minimum wage and doing her cute little tee-hee-hee, cute little curtsy thumbs down, tee-hee-hee, fuck poor people, tee-hee-hee, fuck workers, tee-hee-hee, you should work full-time and not make enough money to survive, tee-hee-hee. So she does that because she's corrupt, of course. That's why she did it, because she's massively corrupt. But I'm not kidding, guys. They also believe, truly, these neoliberal corporatists believe, you don't get it. I'm playing chess. You're playing checkers, you stupid lefties. What I'm doing is actually the popular thing. People want compromise. People want negotiation. People want bipartisanship. People want Democrats who agree with Republicans on virtually everything. That's what they want. That's what they want. Well, that's what Kyrsten Sinema did. She was with every single Republican, every one, who was against the increase in the minimum wage. So she thought it was correct policy-wise, but also correct politically. Here are the results. Mark Kelly was for the minimum wage increase. He's plus 11 favorability. She was against the minimum wage increase, -1. Turns out the minimum wage is actually wildly popular. Didn't take a genius to figure that out. There's one poll that came out in 2019. 67% of the country wanted a $15 minimum wage. 67% of the country. Donald Trump won the state of Florida in the election. He won the state. You know what else passed through direct ballot initiative, through a direct vote of the people of Florida? 60% of them voted for a minimum wage increase, and the minimum wage increase passed. So a state that voted for Donald Trump also voted for a minimum wage increase. It's not just popular among Democrats. It's also popular among Republican voters. It's popular among the entire country. And guess what? Actions have consequences. And now you're beginning to see them. So I love the thought of Kyrsten Sinema behind closed doors with her staffers, going through the new round of polling, looking at the new numbers, and going, let's see how, oh no, what have I done? I love that thought. I love it. Because, again, I'm not kidding. Yes, she's doing this because she's corrupt and she's sold out to big business. She's taking money from them and she's doing their bidding. That's why she's against the $15 minimum wage. But I'm not kidding when I say she also believes that what she's doing is actually popular. And she thinks like, oh, it'll save my career if I vote against the $15 minimum wage. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're ending your own career when you do stuff like that. Who likes that? Over 80% of the Democratic base wants to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Over 80%. You ran as a Democrat. That's what you did. That's what you did. So you're screwing your base over. Again, even the Republican base, the Republicans aren't going to vote for you anyway. But in one poll, over 50% of Republicans want to raise that minimum wage to $15 an hour. Who does this serve? It's nothing but naked corporatism and corruption. The only people who are happy are the billionaires and the corporations. And you take money from them and you do their bidding. I don't know how she managed to convince herself this is smart politically, but now you know. Now you see it. One of these people voted for the minimum wage increase and has a plus 11 favorability. One of them didn't, and it's -1. They need to feel the wrath of holy hell after they do something like this. They need to be put in a corner to do the right thing. The only thing that can override these people doing the bidding of their donors is if they're convinced, if I do the bidding of my donors on this one, my career is over. It's the only way they'll change. So that's why you need endless pressure on $15 minimum wage. You need endless pressure on Medicare for all. You need to put these people in a corner. And if Biden was on our side, which he's not, but if he was on our side, he'd be able to play a carrot and stick game with them behind the scenes, where he would say, listen, if you vote for these things that I'm proposing, I'll make you my best friend. I'll guarantee you get reelected. I'll campaign for you, and I have a 55% approval rating. Or, if you are my enemy on this, fine, then you're my enemy and you're done. And I'll campaign against you. I'll support a primary opponent against you. I'll make your life a living hell. Listen, if you vote for it, I'll even help. I'll give you some extra. I'll help you out. What do you want? Some extra money for Arizona, for an infrastructure project? Whatever you want, I got you. So that's politics. That's politics. That's the old school wheeling and dealing and getting your way. But you have to actually believe in it. And unfortunately, the Democrats don't really believe in it. But this is why I always say, man, one of the most important policies that we can and should get implemented is a direct ballot initiative at a federal level. Because when you have the American people vote directly on things, they're almost always right. I mean, it's like 80% of the time they get it right. Every now and then you have big money flood on one side of the issue and they mislead people and the issue loses. But usually when you're talking about clear issues, there's no amount of propaganda that can dupe people. And so that's why almost every time a minimum wage vote comes up, the people pass it. Almost every time a marijuana vote comes up, the people pass it. Every now and then there are exceptions, but 80% of the time the people vote the right way. And that's a direct way to go around the corruption in our system. Getting money out of politics is the solution to the corruption. But it's so hard to do that because we need a constitutional amendment, and that process is incredibly difficult, and you need such large numbers. But there is a way around the corruption where it's still there, but you can go right around it, and that would be a direct ballot initiative, direct democracy at a federal level. And the people are way more reasonable than Kyrsten sellout corporatist Sinema. And I love the fact that she's despised now, and she's going to get a lot more of this if she doesn't get her ass in line and start supporting popular left-wing ideas.